Let's take a look at this video. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Majority Caucus. It's live once again on your multi-TV. Tonight in the studio I have been joined by lawyer Chris Akume as a member of the NDC legal team, and also in the studio joined in by lawyer Victor Adawudu Kojoga. He reminded me that the Kojoga is very, very important. I do not forget. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure you have observed keenly the elections and the matters that arose when the winner was declared. Obviously, there are a lot of issues that we will be looking at. But your impression generally about the 7th of December, were you impressed with the conduct of the people? Was it peaceful as you expected it? Chris?
Yes, generally, I mean, I was very much impressed by, the conduct of both the officers and then the electorate. I mean, it was a very peaceful elections. Wherever you went, there was order. Even when there were calls for people to, raise issues as to unavailability of electoral materials, and they remained very, very calm. And I think this has been one of the most peaceful, very fair elections that we've ever had in the annals of this country.
Indeed. I'll come to you for the technical details as regards to whether or not some people who are aggrieved by the outcome have a case in court. But Kojoga, I know you played a very key role as lawyer Chris in this election. Perhaps you might want to share your view about the whole elections.
Yes, in the first place, I'd like to congratulate Ghanaians, the electorate, the Electoral Commission officers, and everybody for making this election a peaceful one, very transparent. I was actually involved. I voted in the Volta region, monitored through Greater Accra, Central region, and ended in the Western region.
Crisscrossing.
Yes, crisscrossing, and even at the collation, I ended as secondee for the collation. And it was transparent. Everybody, it was orderly. Prior to the election on the 7th of January, I think there was tension mounting. People were thinking because of, if you see the political temperature that was, it has risen, and people felt there was going to be some commotion, violence, and other things. But the Ghanaians has been very peaceful. The reason prevailed over, and everything, everywhere. Even you could see people, opponents, they shook hands. Everybody, I think it was...
I was impressed with what I saw on TV in Akwitia, MPP, NDC joining hands for a peaceful match. And you could see the excitement in their faces, except that I was disappointed when the results were declared and somewhere around Circle, a lot of things, untoward things happened. Lawyer Chris, the aftermath, violence upon violence being unleashed on NDC faithfuls at a supposed gathering of peace.
It was totally regrettable. Looking at the nature of the election, the way it was conducted in a free and fair manner, and then the performance of electoral officers.
Look, I would want you to hold on to make this point more relevant. I have this video that I want us to take a quick look at, and we'll be right back. Viewers, if you are watching, this is an MPP mob clearly vandalizing the NDC's car. Vandalizing the car that because it has John Mahama stickers and posters on it. And this happened in front of Nana Akufo-Addo's residence at Nima, opposite Nima police station. As you could see in your view now, they are making sure that they give it a final touch in terms of destruction of this vehicle. A brand new car, obviously unregistered, and it has to go, unfortunately, this process in the hands of the MPP tags, as you could see, chanting all that be die, all that be die. Very, very unfortunate. Okay.
Let's comment on it.
Yeah, we'll come to it. Yeah. So, Lawyer Chris, I mean, obviously, there's a pictorial evidence of what we are talking about.
Definitely. I mean, this picture speaks for itself. It captures the grand nature, the bestiality, the animalism, the violence which was unleashed by, the MPP, supporters or opponents, of the NDC. Let me put it this way. You can see majority of the people were clad in an MPP t-shirt. So definitely,
this was
one can say that this is an act of the NPP. Very, very irate crowd, uncontrollable, destructive, animalistic, very, very bestial. Let me put it in this way. I mean, you can't just understand what happened. I mean, you can't believe it. And I am very, very sad that against the background of the conduct of a very peaceful election, very free and fair election, this should happen thereafter. I mean, this is nothing if you compare to what happened at other places all over the country, especially where in the strongholds of the MPP. Yeah. A case of 4 NDC activists who were abducted from their hotel in Kumasi, to the extent that petrol was poured on one of them and he was about to be, set ablaze when he was saved. Because I learned reliably that Honorable Kofi Juma was accosted with the abduction of these 4 NDC activists. Okay. And as a result, the regional police commander threw a challenge to him that if anything untoward happened to any one of them, he will be held responsible. And as a result of this, I mean, he was released. He came soaked with, in petrol. And at one point, they took him to a radio station in Kumasi where he was forced to, give, lies, to tell lies about the NDC, that the NDC was pile up arms somewhere, he knew about it, and then there's a house where they were, doing the rigging and
absolute
everything.
Fabrication.
And the guy refused to. He's called Baba. He refused to and told them that he was prepared to die. And that was what happened. I wish during the program I will give his telephone number so that you can even call him. He will tell the readers very briefly exactly what happened.
Indeed.
I mean, if you look at this scene, you will first think that we're in the Kalahari Desert. Because one would have thought that it was only from what we read in our geography book, Hontentos, those people living in the Kalahari Desert who are supposed to be uncivilized and cultured, who should be doing this kind of thing. You cannot believe that this is happening in Accra, just very close, opposite to the Nima police station. And once this bestial act has been captured, I am very hopeful that the police will act on it. Even if nothing happened on that day. But crime does not decay.
No, never.
Crime does not
decay. Never dies.
So I am looking forward to the police acting on this so as to serve as a deterrent for other people. Because this is not going to be the last election we are going to have.
We are going to have
we are
many
looking
more elections.
very more elections every 4 years.
And indeed,
Yes.
as we speak, the police have been served with copies of these scenes, and I have to be sincere that investigation is underway, and so in no time, some of these perpetrators will be brought to book. But Lawyer Victor, today they mounted another platform, raining salt on the Electoral Commission. My fear is that gradually the leadership of the MPP are inciting their supporters against the EC, and very soon their life will be put in danger, I'm afraid.
No, I think I want to comment
Of
on
course.
what we just saw. This is very barbaric and backwards. It should be condemned in no uncertain terms. Because, look, even if you watch the scene, the vehicle, it was on the street. It's not that it had parked somewhere near where
It was in traffic.
to
Actually, it's a
intimidate
personal
the
friend
people.
of mine, so
It was in
I
traffic.
know that.
It was moving, right? And just because you've seen a bit, and I think even on that day, particular day, I believe that the leadership, Nana Akufo-Addo, was in his house.
Yes.
He could have come out or sent a delegation to tell the supporters that, no, we don't encourage this. But they knew, they saw it. And it's very barbaric. Why? How should this happen in a very civilized society? For power. Is it because you are desperate for power that you would allow, you unleash your people on it? It's all manifestation of the all die be die mantra. It is manifestation of thinking that we'll use threat as a tool of negotiation. That if you don't give it to me, I deserve. You see the mentality of that thinking that we are superior. We are destined to rule.
Nobody else is.
No, nobody else. It is that is because you allow followers and you can't restrain your followers. It's very barbaric. My heart bleeds because if this is the kind of generation this we are going to leave as legacy for our generation, people to come, then where are we getting to? I'm sure if Peter Alajete, the Daroches and other things see this, they'll be turning in their grave.
Indeed.
Because I don't think this is what
At all.
this is what they left for their people and the generation that have come to incite the people, say anything. Look at what Sir George said in his press conference, that we are winning at all costs. If we don't win, why? I think that the leadership of MPP should sit up. That also goes that, look, let's distinguish criminality, differentiate from political activity. This is not a political activity. This is a criminal act. It's an offense. And I believe the police should be up to scratch to look at it without fear or favor. Anybody, it could be an NDC member. But look, at the end of the day, it is our people who are the receiving end. And anytime it happens this way, the leadership comes and say, let's exercise restraint, but we will get our day. You know, I think it's becoming unbecoming, and the police should act and be on there. Now, if they threaten the EC and its people, I don't understand them, because they call themselves the apostles of democracy. Yeah. That's what they pride themselves to be. Now, EC is doing its constitutional job, constitutional mandate. This is clear. The Supreme Court has spoken in this matter. When Rojo and its people, Rojo and the late Clenso went to court in 2005, what the EC said was that the declaration of the president was the constitutional mandate of the electoral commissioner. And that is all. They went to court saying that the electoral commission should publish all the results.
Including all the police stations.
All the police stations. It's just like, and the court, even in that case, I'm sure if they had allowed their lawyers to look at it, that case was saying that even the only instrument that the chairman of electoral commission brings, the instrument, that declaration of that, the CI 49, was he has discharged his duty. The fact that the documents or the police station has to be published is not part of it, because if it is declared, the results are declared in the polling station, it is already in the public domain. Okay. So there is no need you come and say that Electoral Commission should publish all. That is what the Supreme Court has said. And that is the relevant and the current position of the law.
Delved into the legal realms. Let me put this to you. Do you, in your fair view, think that the MPP has a case? I think the let me start from this way so that we can get an understanding to it. We have two different regimes when it comes to challenging of resource elections. Okay. We have the parliamentary one, which says that the resource has to be declared when it is gazetted. 21 days, you can come to court. Even with that, you have to deposit some money in court before you come. However, if it is alleged that there were corrupt practices involving one of the candidates or his agent or a polling assistant, you do not need to wait for that 21 days to come to court. Now, so that is Act 284, the PNDC law. Okay. That governs the parliamentary elections. Now, when you come to presidential, you want to challenge. Let me quickly put that what Honorable Rojo Metenunu and the late Clarence who went to court to do at that time, the court said that that is not a challenge of the presidential result. It is not an election petition. What they came by was a writ. So they still had time, even if the 21 days do not, even if they elapse. Because they went by writ, they're saying that they should publish all the results. Now the Constitution, Article 64(1), it's clear. It says that anybody, you should be a citizen. If you're a citizen, you can challenge. You should be a registered voter. You can challenge and say that, yes, I think that the election or the person declared to be the president is not. Right? Now, so you go by the Supreme Court also. The Supreme Court has its own rules before you invoke the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. So in Rule 68, 69, 70, it tells you how you approach them. And even in that, they will have to come with a constitutional instrument, right? The rules of court has to come with constitutional to prescribe the procedure. I want you to hold on the constitutional instrument. I'll be right back after this break to continue this discussion. Welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, this is Majority Caucus live on your multi-TV. Before the election, this was Majority Caucus, and do not be surprised, after the election, we're still Majority Caucus. And tonight, I have been joined in the studio by two very powerful lawyers, Lawyer Chris Akume and Lawyer Victor Adawudu Kojoga. Lawyer Victor, you were on the constitutional instrument, very important.
So the Supreme Court, the rules of court committee will come with a procedure. I think it's just been passed CI 74. Okay. But you can't even find it within the system. We went there. Now, you see, the results, if you look at the results, in as much as the MPP, they have the right to challenge the presidency. It is their constitutional right. But the clause 2 of 62 says that irrespective of the fact that the person who is declared as a president, what he does, even until the time the Supreme Court can say that it is invalid, what he does, it is valid. Okay. So if he nominates anybody or assent any law, it is a valid law. Now, you see, for me, it is going to be an odious tax for the MPP to adduce evidence. One, if you go by saying that it is fraud, that the results, it was fraudulent as they are claiming now. You see, the Electoral Commission, it has CIs, CI 72 and others, that puts the processes and procedure down. It has to accredit a polling agent, polling assistant for every candidate, even the presiding officer.
Even observers
yes, they are accredited. So when the results and the results after the polls, it is counted over there. Everybody appends his signature and says that this is the true will of the people within that polling station. They sign. If you don't want to sign, you fill a challenge form and say that I think this results have been tainted because of 1 or 2 reasons, so I will not do it. From there, you move to the collation center. The collation center, they don't count. Okay. They don't count. The law doesn't say you should count. You only collate the results from the polling stations and say everybody over there signs. You have also an opportunity to say that we will not sign this result because we think polling station A, B, C, D, this had happened, so we will not sign. Okay. Right? And it is transferred to the strong room in the regional office of Electoral Commission. From there, it comes to the national, the EC. So if you are saying that there was fraud, right? Why didn't you complain? Why did you not fill the challenge form? It hasn't been done unless they can go now and say that we filled the form. Are you getting it? Yeah. There's nothing, we've never said anything like that. Yeah. Right. 2, if they come and they say there's irregularity, within every election, that is why you see that the CI comes almost every time to election. We had CI 12 and CI 15, so that reforms, you can find that they are a little bit different. Yeah, yeah. There are reforms within it.
I was scandalized when the question was put to Nana Komia, the communication director of the MPP. At what point in time and at what polling station or coalition center did the result change? He said, I don't know. But yet they keep saying, yeah. But so let me. I'll come back.
Are you surprised? This is not the first time he said, I don't know. You remember when he was asked what was the budget like in education?
Yeah.
He still gave the same
He doesn't know, but he's still complaining.
This I don't know phenomenon.
Chris, let me put this to you. Strange enough, they are not challenging the parliamentary result. It seems to be their only interest as targeted at the presidential. How do we make sense of this?
You know, they just want to discredit the victory, you know, overwhelming victory, or the one-time victory, or the mandate which has been given to President Mahama by the good people of Ghana. That's all that, you know, you can see. It's very obvious that what they're trying to do was just to do a little bit of fishing, and at the end of the day, just to throw mud, you know, so as to discredit the result and attract a lot of followers along with them. That's all that they are trying to do. If you remember, when they went to the Electoral Commission and asked that the Electoral Commission should delay the results, the Electoral Commission asked them the basis. So they, you know, they provided a paper on which they listed about 10, 15 polling stations. The Electoral Commissioner took the paper, went indoors, checked it against the, you know,
and this was a meeting between them and the EC as well as the Peace Council. Yeah.
You know, what they were distributing in town, they have what they call actual, then strong room, and then the different. And if you look at all the actuals in the 10 constituencies that they have listed, the actuals which they claim are the actuals are actually the actuals which have been used by the Electoral Commission to compute the winner. So what they have captured here as in the second column as the electoral strong room figures is complete forgery. Complete forgery. You don't know where they got it from. You know, you see how people can be so evil.
Indeed.
So evil to come out, conjure some kind of figures that this is the strong room figure when you know perfectly that these are not the strong room figure. So when Afarijan saw it, he went and checked, he came and told them, look, I mean, have you looked at what you have provided? There's no basis. Oh yeah, and that's that. You know, that's what. Now, they are claiming that the result should be delayed for, was it 2 days?
Yeah, but they want it for 2 days.
2 days.
But that would be an act of
illegality. And up to today, how many days after?
Many.
When you ask them, they tell you that they have finished with 20,000 stations. Police station, they are left with about 6. So what it meant was that if Dr. Afarijan had given them that opportunity, would have still been held in abeyance up to today. You understand it? So they don't have a case. Look, they said they are going to court.
Yeah.
And I was so happy when they claimed that, when they stated that they will be going to court. I was therefore utterly surprised when they ended up at Obra Sport. Then I was asking myself, is Obra Sport the Supreme Court? Or Mami Dokunu, Mami Dokunu is now the Chief Justice of Ghana, which warrants they are going to Obra Sport. I was so shocked. Added to my shock is the series of, protests that they held at Obra Sport for good 4 days, you understand? And they were addressed by prominent party, including lawyers. Nana Akufo-Addo was part of those people who addressed. When he knew that any challenge to an election result must come by way of petition to the Supreme Court. What were they doing there?
You think it's pure mischief then?
And in one instant, I heard him even speaking French.
But the last time I checked, the people of Ghana speak English as official language.
Yes, I mean, that added up to the suspicion that some of us held that, because before the election, there were this kind of rumors that, mercenaries were going to be brought from the French countries in order to create commotion. So somebody was telling me that when he was speaking French, he was trying to reach to those,
Okay, perhaps some of them
that
there.
is, other than that,
otherwise, it's strange.
Other than that, it is strange that
to
he
be
should be
speaking
addressing
French
the
to
crowd.
An English crowd.
Yeah.
But
the fact of the matter is this. We are waiting for them.
Okay.
Let them go to court. It's going to be a very tall task. Because when you are alleging fraud, you have to particularize every step of the fraud that you are alleging. You understand? And you have to look at the totality of the fraud that you are alleging to see whether it is so much as to do damage to the electoral results.
Okay. But you see, but they claim that the NDC or perhaps the government has sent police officers to raid their residence and, perhaps tamper with their evidence, and that is why they are experiencing some delay. As ridiculous as it sounds, but I still need to know your perception of this.
Now, there are two views here for me personally. Listen, if it is criminal, it's criminal. Okay. But I think that they are playing mischief. They are playing on the intelligence of the Ghanaians, the electorate. You know what? When they wanted to delay Afarijan not to declare the results, are you getting it? Their intention was to go to court and file for an injunction to stop him, that until the court decides. This was what was done in 2008.
When we were going for a election.
And I understand that the same interim injunction was served on Afarijan as at Monday. We are yet to get a copy of that. We are yet to get and see the firm, the lawyers that have filed that. That is I understand. Yeah. So, on what basis did they come to Electoral Commission? Was it in good faith? It was in bad faith. So that the man would say, okay, bring all. And you see, the evidence they even took there was incomplete. I think this is what Honorable Fifi Kwete will refer to as voodoo figures. Where are the figures coming from? You understand? So, why would they be mischief? If it is indeed that they have filed that injunction and it was served on the chairman of the Electoral Commission, Ghanaians should see in between, because they have encouraged their people, their supporters, that we are winning. Yeah. How do they go back?
You remember.
Also, how do they go back to tell them?
Yeah.
That is, so they think that we can go all out. But I'm telling you that if they go to court, you see, NDC as a party also has interest in the case going to court.
Indeed.
I'm telling you that we are prepared. Okay. And NDC will join as an interested party in this case. Okay. We will have done the analysis. We have done everything. Okay. Let them come and tell. This time, everybody is vigilant.
Indeed.
Everybody is vigilant. Look, let them invoke the jurisdiction.
There's a funny question I'll put to you when I come back. Let me take this break. Viewers, stay with me. I'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is Majority Caucus live on your multi-TV. Before the break, I promised to put this question to you. Lawyer Michael K. Jr. said he wants all the Supreme Court justices to sit, and it should be the trial should be conducted in the full glare of the public. By that he means it should be carried live on GTV. As ridiculous as it sounds, I think it's very shameful to dictate how the court should conduct itself.
The Chief Justice, you know, is the only person who has got the power to set down how procedures in court should be conducted. It's not Mike Okwe or the MPP. You understand?
So even the court, they
very
want to determine.
I will not even be surprised if one of the release they will be seeking will be to ask the Supreme Court and the judges to go around the various police stations to count the ballot papers themselves. Why? Because if your own police agents who have signed that these are the results, you are now challenging and you are going to court, what are you going to rely on in court? Is it not the same document that your police agents have signed? Is that not what you are going to? Is that not it? That's going to be your evidence or exhibits. You are not going to rely on this one. So you now go to court, ask Judge Nawood and court judges to go back to all and count themselves. Maybe that would be acceptable to them. You understand? What is this basis of asking this thing to be in the open? I mean, it's neither here nor there. My brother, I'm saying that it is just to throw a wedge in the victory machinery of the NDC and Ghanaians. I would tell Ghanaians that, look, this victory is conclusive. You understand it? Nothing, repeat, there's no fault in it. There has not been any rigging anywhere. At the end of the day, whether they want to go to court in heaven or not, will provide evidence to support the fact that there was no rigging and we won on merit. Do you understand it? So let us start rejoicing from today. I am talking to our people.
Indeed.
The NDC and Ghanaians.
No, I have seen across the nation, people
across the nation
are still
you understand? Because the victory is not only for NDC, it's for Ghana.
Allow me to activate my phone lines. You can join in the discussion on 0302 211 701 0302 211 70124. We'll be ready to entertain your views and share it with the rest of the world. Lawyer David.
Yeah,
evidence.
Yeah, yes, but where you said Michael Kwe Jr.
Yes, he was trying to dictate to the court how they should conduct.
I don't,
should they be able to file?
I think if it is true,
well,
then what I'm hearing, he said it.
On the
then I think
station.
my colleague actually did not look at the rules. Because he knows, as a lawyer, he should know the rules, how to invoke and who panels, but not to come to the public and mislead the public and say, this is what we said it should be done. We are not in the court of public opinion. If you think you want to go to court of competent jurisdiction...
Let me take this call. I'll come back to you. Hello, Razak.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Razak. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I want to thank you and your panelists for a very good work being done.
Okay.
Yes, I want to use this podium to tell our colleagues in the MPP side, you know, we are not pampering anybody. If we feel you are cheated and then you've been given a time period to send your case to court, now the time has not elapsed and you are on the street parading saying you have been cheated. I don't think they are making sense. And it is going to even tarnish the image of Ghana and the international front. So if they think they have a genuine case, they claim they have the lawyers in Ghana. They should go to court and prove their case. And I'm entreating all our NDC supporters. They want to distract us from enjoying our victory. I'm saying that come next week, Saturday, we are celebrating ours. Nothing is stopping us. We have won. They can go to hell and from there they can bring to heaven. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Razak. Thank you very much for that interested.
See, the fact of the matter is that...
I have another caller on the line. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you. My name is David Akifo.
Okay.
Lawyer and BDK. This is sixth brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to contribute.
Oh, please go ahead.
You know, because of this talk, that is why the Otufu invite them, everybody to put his hand on the paper so that everybody that have won. But today, what is happening? Are you disgracing Otufu for His Majesty? Hey, the Afaridan declared the winner. You have won. This one has won. Hey, look at here. Ghana, woman, you people should not let it go to fullest. Yeah, we are too far.
Okay. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I have another caller on the line. Thank you very much for your views. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Yeah, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much for the program.
You're most welcome.
I think Ghanaians are not all that to be misled.
Okay.
And after the election, the lawyer was it was collected from the police stations. Their representatives were there. So are they trying to say that they don't now rely on their police agents? So if not, they don't rely on their police agents. Then if you said the whole Ghanaians, the people that they have trusted and put on the police, they don't rely on them and they are not trustworthy for their party. Then we can understand that. Apart from that, the what they are trying to say is baseless. And which Ghanaians the best that they vote according to their conscience. Indeed. I want to tell them, if they believe that the free HFS has gone into all Ghanaians' mind, they are telling lies. I was discussing with the people who were saying that all Ghanaians have bought.
Okay, thank you very much. Michael, thank you very much. Unfortunately, that's what time will allow us and to pick that number of calls. Yeah, there is an interesting twist. There's this seeming attempt on the part of the PPP to also claim some, losses, that they also made some calculation and they lost. But this morning I had an interview, a confession made by one of the key members who sat in the meeting. How do we fit this into the claim of the MPP? Is it a bad omen for the MPP?
You get it. The sense I get is that I think that MPP wants some support, somebody to lay credence to what they are saying, to bastardize the system, the electoral problem. If PPP is saying that, you see, let's differentiate. There is no election in this world that there have not been one or two irregularities. When we say, that is why even in parliamentary, the court, if it looks at the irregularity and sees that it was not widespread, everybody says that. Now, you see where they are coming from that there was irregularity also is that where the IPAC, I understand the IPAC when they went and they said no verification, no vote. Yeah. But the CI 72 is clear on that. Regulation 33 says that where there is anything or breakdown of equipment, the Electoral Commission can adjourn and say that voting should come on at another time. It is legal. Yeah, are you getting it? And even the same law says that if you cannot determine if the register that was used was a backup to the verification. Yeah. So if the verification is not working, the backup was there. The presiding officer can identify the person, his name, he would be allowed. They should go and look at Apalu versus Electoral Commission, what it says there, and educate themselves on that authority before they start going to court and say that there were irregularity. I think that looking at Equia and the PPP, I think it's a matter of sour grapes. It's a matter of sour grapes, in the sense that they think they want to retrieve their car. The woman says, I'm not going to give it to you. It's as simple as that. And I think, Tundra, and I think that Ghanaians want closure to this matter. Indeed. Ghanaians want to celebrate their Christmas and move ahead. There is a closure. We need to bring closure. At the end of the day, listen, yes, they've lost. I think one of their members is saying that, look, it was bad. There was no vigilance. Leadership was incompetent, that we could not police. They were not vigilant. If they think that it's not this, look, next time they should learn. Absolutely. Better.
Thank you very much on that. Lawyer Chris.
Yeah, my point is that
all other political parties have congratulated His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, but for PPP, I think that seemed to be going.
To me, it doesn't matter because we are talking about majority.
Indeed.
If the majority of political parties have congratulated John Mahama, he can decide to keep his for whatever reason. We are not bothered.
For a tundra.
Yeah, we are not bothered. No, the point is that, the assurance must be given to Ghanaians that this is a total victory. Nothing is going to be done to take away from this victory. And therefore, they must start jubilating and celebrating. Those who have decided to entertain fears, I'm telling them that this victory cannot be overturned because at all, because the rule or the name of the game is evidence.
Credible evidence.
You don't credible evidence. You don't go to court to go and rely on hearsay that somebody said somebody was running away ballot boxes and you bring that person to come and give the evidence. That's why I said the name of the game is evidence. They don't have it. Okay. They are just dreaming. And you don't take dreams to court. At all. It's evidence you take to court.
Absolutely.
So the assurance I'm saying is that let's just relax. Let's feel very free. Let's feel very confident. Let's start celebrating because, and look forward to 7th January, which will be the climax of this. Nothing's going to be done
this note,
to detract.
On this note, quickly, in 5 seconds.
The last word is I want to assure the people of Ghana and assure members of the NDC that the legal team has laced its boots, is putting its acts together, that they will not be disappointed. They will be very vigilant. And if the need comes, we have to go to court. We will go and speak the law. It's often they say the NDC lawyers, they don't speak, they don't do, but we do our things quietly. Indeed. Yes, we only know how to bite. We don't bite. So we are prepared. We are prepared because we know we'll be interested parties in this matter.
On this note, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for making time to join me here. And that I hope that in the coming days we would have another opportunity to do more discussions on hot topics. And viewers, unfortunately, we end tonight's edition of Majority Caucus on this note. But make a date with me on Thursday for another exciting edition. Be good and stay blessed. Enjoy your night.